Those snow boots on, of course, as this tournament proudly brought to you in part by Nex, the official phone here of the PMCO Global Finals 2019. It's round number 3. Let's get into things as Sims and Pansy take you to Vikendi.
Plays out. There's so much to be seen. So many of these teams could easily step up, get into that top 3, but we've already had some very big performances. I don't think anyone's surprised by RRQ Athena really coming in, but those 13 kills, those points, that's insanity.
It is. When you rack it up points like that, especially when you look towards round 1, it wasn't the best of rounds coming out from them with a 13th place placement. Certainly a night and day scenario. They turned it around instantly in round number 2 with a win, but again, it is a best of 16. Yes, you can say, oh, well, we can shake things off and get things done moving forward. The problem is for the teams at the bottom, day 1 is where it starts to become more difficult. If you don't get the placements that you want, if you don't get the points at the top of the board, even midway through the pack, it becomes more and more difficult as we go further through this competition. And down at the bottom, I'm looking towards ARG, Seoul, TQ, the points below 10, not even double digits. It's looking a bit rough at the bottom of the charts.
It is, and I really want to see more from the likes of Seoul. I know a lot of people coming into this, we're looking at them from a region we don't get to see too much of in these international stages, and I really want to see what they can bring to the forefront. Mortal's name is a little bit of an immortalized sort of situation there, so I want to see how much he can do coming in towards this one. I'm super excited to look at Space Station as well. They could certainly push that board. I remember watching those guys way back when, so under this new sort of look, they seem quite deadly, so we'll see. But again, there's some giants in their way that will not be moved easily. Everyone is down, though. We see the loop beginning. Everyone trying to get that little bit under their belt to start with. And I don't see too many early clashes, but most teams quite close by here.
Circle does come in and it fixates on Castle. A couple of teams up north. That'll be 3. Not much of a rotation. It certainly won't be a rough one. Bit of open ground in between that and the circle. Down further afield on the south, or even more towards the west from Double Mester. Work your way all the way down to the bottom areas. It's going to be a little bit tricky because there isn't too much room. If you want to be moving through Tovar, you're looking for Goroka, for instance. It could be quite rough. It depends how many teams actually want to play border control and just spoil on the edge, see if they can camp. And again, it is quite placement heavy, this competition, so the kills aren't necessarily where you pick up most of the points. You do want to be going for the win, and it is focused heavily on that. But certainly points make prizes. If you want to extend that lead, if you want to get further afield, or if you're having a bit of a rough time, pick up as many points as you can on the way. If you get that knock, go for the instant kill. Go for the thirst and stick the points in the bag.
Yeah. Keeping on board with SSG, you can see them still looting up. Not too surprising. No real skirmishes yet. It will be that first kind of crunch. We're looking out towards the west here. There's a lot of teams around that area that could potentially get caught on the way into that first circle even. We know, Vikendi, it can be a brutal map, very punishing. A lot of high ground, a lot of areas that can be very tricky to traverse. So hopefully these teams do at least get some comfortable access into the circle, and then we get that real game going.
Kind of standout team, I want to say, at the moment, that does stand out for different reasons, not for performing well or such, but it's actually going to be Purple Mood. They are currently in middle of the pack, but when you look for other teams that are just slightly below them or slightly above them, they have the most kills, 13 in the bag, and when you look towards your top 3, you're around that 14 and 15 mark. It's not too far afield, so a couple more placement points. They'll be kicking it right up there and be able to jump into the top 3 rather easily. Below them, though, 31 points in all. It does start to trickle off a little bit. 25 points, working your way down 20 around 11th place. And then things do start to take a bit of a turn, Nova and beyond from 12th place downwards. But at the moment, there's still everything to play for. It's still only day number 1. Hell, we're only the 3rd game into this. Any decent game with a couple of kills under the bag, and when you're looking towards ones that are rocking up 13, it'll definitely shoot you up there.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Like, after Ernie's performance you just witnessed, you can see the difference one player can make in this game. It is about the team, it's about everyone, and speaking of that, we have some pressure coming in. Cool Boy gonna get the first blood going in. Nice little pickup, gonna claim the first. Not gonna be able to actually get the full flush and a kill on that, though. Nox certainly gonna put them on notice, and this is what we're talking about, those first early scraps coming in. Everyone trying to find that right place on the map, trying to get into that circle to feel comfortable, and everyone's looking for those prime spots to go to.
Vikendi's out of place for now, which will force the team to come and get the res. Cat might want to try and advance on this, and it looks like XQF try and get the info and feed it back to the rest of the team. Just need to make sure they don't overextend as an individual, because it can be answered right back instantly. And then all of a sudden you're just disconnected from the rest of your roster and you're in a position where you've basically just mirror image what you've done. You've knocked a player, you then go for the push, they can do the exact same. Your team is forced to go into a position they don't like, try and get the res, force the utility and get some work.
Yeah, but Paraboy's on this side, and X-Quest are a very, very good deadly team. You're seeing as to why. Another knock comes in. That's Cat. Quick as lightning. Jimmy's going to find one as well. This is looking very good so far. They need to get the flushes, though. They need to keep the pressure up. They cannot let that simmer away.
The M4 so far in this competition is doing all the work. Even with the 4 times. The spray is fantastic, crosses the road, Planet.
Lovely tag. Planet's down to nothing.
Absolutely nothing, so be forced to use the meds here. And again, I mean, this is just teetering on the edge of the circle.
And they're hunting this as well. Look how aggressive Paraboy is being, Cat's being. They're being so aware of where they're going, keeping tabs on everything going on here. This is smart play. They are quite central as well, so maybe this is the territory they want. But with Cat being knocked, they need to be careful now. And oh no, they've lost out on Cat. That's a huge loss.
I did say teetering on the edge of the circle, excuse me, it's near Tovar. And that's what I mentioned about taking one individual player like that. It's okay getting aggressive and going for the confirmation of any knocks or damage you do to get involved in these fights. But if you single yourself out, if you're in the middle of the street in an open field, they're happily going to just take you down and confirm that kill for the point.
Yeah, and currently they're sat in third, the team that just lost out on a player. X-Quest were doing really well for themselves. Good kill counts as well. Round 1, I think they got 10 points from those kills. So they're a team you want to be expecting to get those frags in, get that damage done. But losing on a player this early could really slow them down. But another engagement starting. This is just on rotation, so it may not equate to a kill. We'll see if that actually comes out for now. You're going to see them kind of taking their time. This is the team that's just below, if I'm not mistaken. There's Bigatron just below the team we're talking about. X-Quest, they're just trying to jump up there. They get a couple of kills, good placement. That could be X-Quest in danger.
I may have seen Cat go down, but for where the circle is, yes, you don't necessarily want to be going for all these fights, but it is favorable position in the circle at least. It's not quite plumb center. Castle would be the scenario there, but they can fall back to that, maybe take the bridge. No one's actually in Castle, and again, if the circle doesn't go that way, if it is unfavorable and hard shifts somewhere towards the west or the south, you're going to have difficulty crossing those bridges because there'll be fights on all fronts. There's only 2 teams that are left outside the circle now. We've got Unik just up in the northwest, heading past Dobro Mester, then all the way down south. We'll see SZB. They'll just be maybe taking a bit of a long swing. I can see Baraka and Senab just on the bottom, so maybe they play a spoiler to that entry point for SZB if they want to come through. Bigger picture though at the moment, it's just finding your feet, finding a good foothold. There are certain areas in the Vikendi you can, rather than keep rotating, actually hunker down. Look through the windows, try and take people out on the rotation. Especially with some of the buildings as well, you get a good field of vision from the balcony sides, from the windows that can provide you so much cover. Those balconies, not so much because they are wide open, your body is exposed. You can see some of these boys rocking level 3 helmets. If you've got the gear, then why not go for it?
A little bit of contact starting to build now. This is very central. This is to the west of Castle, so a lot of these teams heading over this way. It's going to get a little bit scary. So you've got to be very cautious in how you play this. If as soon as you engage, as soon as you make that contact, everyone's going to know about it. And people are so aggressive in this version of PUBG. You really see these teams fighting for those kill points with everything they have. So as soon as you make that engagement, you better be prepared to back it up. So we're seeing all the teams now heading themselves in towards the right places they want to go to, being careful on the way. This is down by Hot Springs. Just gonna take the time on the bridge, make sure they scout it out correctly. They're not new to this. They know this game inside out. They know these opponents, how they like to play. They put their time in.
To expand on what you've just said, how people will play aggressive, how they will just send it to a compound and home in on a zone or area that they want particularly and take control of it. To be able to do that, it comes down to listening to the IGL. If you're not listening to the IGL and you're just doing whatever the hell you want, if you're running off as an individual fragger, maybe just trying to get a few solo kills, then pushes like this, they don't work because they're broken, they're split up. You'll be taken apart as an individual rather than a team. You don't have your teammates to back you up for the cover fire or even the refrag. So having teamwork and working as a unit in PUBG Mobile is so, so crucial when you're going for those advancement pushes.
Incredibly so, and Nova on the move, looking for that next spot to get back towards, bringing that Darcia in. Beautiful work, don't get you. There we go, parking it up beautifully, look at that. Magical.
It's a garage.
Yeah, exactly, they're racking up the cars, and honestly, considering the amount of teams who are so close by, I'm surprised we haven't seen more engagements yet. Teams are being very careful now, maybe realizing how close that leaderboard is here and how much the Club Open Finals really mean. They've fought so hard to get to this point, to get to this stage, and now they have to face off against the world's best.
When I've been looking at some of these statistics of sign-ups and players and the road that players have had to take to get to this point, it's incredible. I believe the Indian qualifier was something like 11,000 plus teams signing up.
Incredible. That's why we want to see that team really come through.
Yeah.
If you've made it that far, you deserve a real shot on this stage.
You're also getting the cream of the crop, right? You are literally getting at this competition the best of the best. And this is why sometimes you will see these more passive games, because you know that you can't expose yourself. You can't extend from this compound. Because if you're open and exposed, you're going to get murdered. There's literally nowhere to go without being seen by some of these insane fraggers. The one thing that I've not seen too much of, but when you do, they make it count, is your marksman. The man that's going to use the bolt action, the M24, the K-98. It is brave to use it, and with the current meta, with the ARs, with the DMRs, it's more favorable to go for those weapons. But when somebody just knows how to use it with such precision and finds that face in an open field, it's job done. You can kiss yourself goodbye, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm looking at RRQ's rotations. They're pretty wild here, but look at this. We're going to start seeing maybe 3 teams quite close by. These are compound battles, though, so they still hold good hard cover. They're not overextending, but they're certainly applying pressure now. You see those AK shots coming through. You're going to start seeing all the teams slowly working out who's around them. Where do we need to look? Where's the danger? And so far, you can see it now on your screens. The danger is mounting as we speak. It's mostly to the west of Castle. It's mostly just to the south of the circle. The new circle will hit soon. We'll see who's going to be put out of place. A couple of drops coming in, so that could be quite nice to get a little bit of a pickup. But first big engagement here again happening. That's a good spot. That's a lot of information found. Look at the damage coming in early. This is going to be a big push coming out.
Potentially might see our first team going out here. The damage was real. You saw the numbers on screen. Shimon just trying to grab the information, but that's the third party from a distance. And again, because this map, there are so many teams alive in this circle, it's becoming very condensed. Everyone, because of the water, is homing towards the central point.
Yeah, I think that was RRQ Athena coming in with, yeah, there it is. There's Ernie again. Absolutely bloodthirsty. This guy's so good as well. We saw just a moment ago. Roll your mind back to Miramar. You won't forget that. And again, not just one team they've spotted out here, but 2. They've seen the team in the compound just behind this as well. Senior there just keeping tabs on everything going on, making sure they're not getting third party, making sure no one's encroaching towards them. And they've had a long rotation. They were up in the north of the circle, and they've headed all the way around south. So big moves from these guys, filling out the game, not passive at all.
I like they're both going for the M16 setup as well. It's a double AR comp from both of them, side by side, 4 times. To try and get the range on there, so you won't see the DMR.
Oh, look at that
You do
angle.
see the sniper rifle on Senior, though. K9, if he finds one of these. I mean, it's going to be a knock. It's not going to be a confirmation of a kill. It's just going to go damage and maybe pin them back in this, and hopefully other teams wipe them out. If you can just force so much damage, take the utility away from them, force them to use all their meds, maybe even just remove their helmets and their gear on their chest.
It adds up. It
causes
all
problems
adds up.
long game, right? It's a gauntlet. You go for one team, but then you've got another fight to find as soon as you leave that building.
Absolutely, and this pushes away another team who's within the top 4. If they get the pressure towards Big Strong, that's massive for them. That keeps their spot looking safer and safer, way up at the top so far for the side that I think a lot of people are expecting big results from. So good to see them keeping up to that sort of stature they've been gifted.
ELG at the moment have to play this one cautiously, and they have to have an evacuation plan. They're on the castle, so once they move away from this, it's just landlocked, surrounded by water. They either walk the bridges, they either swim, or they take vehicles across the bridges. But either way, you need your IGL to now to be thinking of a plan ahead of the circle, because once it shifts, if it doesn't go their way, it's going to be an extremely hard move out of that area.
But the thing is with Elite Gaming, their results so far have been exemplary. They've had really good placement positions in both games. So I'm looking at them as very, very calculated, smart players if they're able to replicate that time and time again. But it looks like we might have a bit of close quarters combat coming up. Teams crashing in now, trying to get to those perfect compounds. And this isn't far away from where we just saw that RRQ Athena fight. This is in these fields. This is all very close by.
Grenade primed, ready, just over the hill. How much damage it's going to do? It could do a lot of damage. They're now forced into an environment where all 4 players are together. Shimon holds the angle on the crate. And look at Noato. He has the Uzi. He's extended. He'll get all 4 of them. Surely he'll be able to see them with the eye line.
If he gets the right line of sight, that could be deadly, but I don't know if he's willing to push that far. It's risky. There's so many eyes out there at the moment, but look at these smokes going up. The wall of smokes plume everywhere, and these guys are on notice. They're in danger, and they know it. Prone down, trying to hold on to any cover they have, getting rid of the car to make sure they don't get damaged by anything around them, using it for cover. Smart play, but now everyone's looking right at them. Look at this, another party coming in, another team looking for a way to get maybe some of these points.
Every single vehicle has now gone up in smoke. The UAZ just on fire in the background rings a dinner bell to all the teams that are looking their way on screen right now. Purple Mood will have the line of sight just on the back wall. That potentially could have been a run over there, almost. But they do have 1 vehicle, so maybe they're just trying to evacuate the situation. TSFB in the background, yeah, they'll say, okay, we don't want to get involved, we'll lead them to this. In the meantime, though, TES, Fireboy's doing work onto MyTech. Down he goes. That's a different fight completely altogether.
Yeah, that's top esports coming into this one. Again, deadly team. All of these teams are looking for new ways to try and maybe get around this compound. And Zuxi's actually pushed up towards our wall, so maybe looking to disengage from that small garage and find a fight where maybe they can take better territory. And Zuxi's going to go right into the Lion's Den. This is scary. Look at that, 2 players so close by. Can he get the kill? That's the big question. Yes, he's good for 1, but where's the follow-up? Can they clear this out cleanly? Zuxi's still alive, going to pop off the heel as quick as he can. And look at the Molotovs burning in the background. They're trying to dominate this space. The support is there, and they need to make the push. Zuxi goes in. He gets the tag. He's got to be careful. His teammates are falling around him. He has to get the pickup, and it looks like they've done just enough to take that compound.
Zuxi and Luxi back to back. They do confirm this, and they take the compound for themselves. Susie, you can see damage, but not out in the background. The team will try and get themselves back on the feet, but this is what it's going to be like for the remainder of this game. Teams sharing space. There's very little to move on this one without being spotted out on Vikendi. As soon as you leave the safety of your compound, every single team has an eye line. That grenade.
Oh no, Soul are in so much danger here. You already have XQF knocking the door. They lost out on Cat early, and there's a 3rd party as well. Everyone's eyes are across on this expert marksman coming in, and sadly it's sort of like Mortal's down, Ronak's down. They're losing out on so many of these players, and that's going to be devastating for them.
AY just trying to see if anyone's hiding behind these vehicles. They will go up. If they don't find anybody, that's fine. They take away the ability to maneuver away from this fight. Give them no escape plan whatsoever, so XQF, they'll just hunker down for now and hope that people come flying their way. There are 2 more teams, SSG and I believe Unique, just lingering on the border to where they are. JN does at least have a vehicle for Nova, so they'll be able to pull this one up, keep it safe for now, just hide it behind the rocks away from the prying eyes of the snipers or anyone else who's lingering in the distance. The map though, look at the north, it's completely empty. If we shift towards Kresnik, this is going to be one hell of a nasty migration for all the teams on the south.
It certainly could, but Purple Mood, and it looks like RRQ Athena reading this well, going on the eastern side and potentially going back up north. We'll see if that comes through. For now, Coolboy in another engagement. This has been going on for a while, but XQF picking up the kills. They lost out on their player earlier to this, so now Cat just watching this one back. That's how he lost his life early. He overcommitted to that engagement. But these guys have been relentless in their aggression, and the circle's gone north, Rich. This is going to be a huge move for all of these teams that are in the south fighting next to each other.
And they've been able to keep a vehicle alive for Nova, at least allows them for maneuverability off the backside of that cliff face now. The circle, as you did say, did go to the north. Pod will be completely open. That's the small city that basically overlooks the edge of the river. Yes, the river can be run because of the ice that's below it. Further afield, no, you have the bridge. It's landlocked for the opposing side. We do have 2 teams still on that eastern flank, but there's very little to work with because then the river becomes unrunnable. You'll be swimming, and unfortunately you'll be sinking because people will be seeing you from the coastal edges. For now, though, let's take a look at the teams that are in quite a predominant spot. Nova, because they have the vehicles, could still maybe get ahead of the game, maybe take the pickings of everywhere up north. It's actually Unique, who are moving from Villa. They've been quite quiet on this and backburning. This could be a good sly play for them. If they get ahead of the game and move it into pod before anyone else does, they'll be in safety.
They could be. We'll keep eyes on it. We'll check in once that circle comes through, once it constricts. We'll know exactly where all these teams are, some being more cautious than others, and Mystic losing out on a little bit there. There is a teammate nearby, so they can get the pickup, but when you know that RRQ Athena are close by, it's something you don't like to see. Now Nova, very up close and personal here. 4 players all together in the same compound, maybe going to try and make that final push. Lapis waiting so patiently, going to hear everything going on. Knows he's the last hope for his side. As the push comes through, you can see everyone clearing this out methodically.
One by one. They'll just try and force them into an engagement where they don't have to go for the res. That grenade's going up and over. It might find a target. Lapis with the 6.86 shotgun waiting on the stairwell.
God.
When they walk up here, this could be death awaiting for them. First one strikes, but he misses.
No.
And AY takes full advantage. Down they go.
Really nice work from Nova. AY, what a performance there, just coming up full confidence, taking that fight. XQF looking for their way forward. Got the vehicles, so there's still hope, but you can see teams in their way. It will not be easy. SSG are just down the road. They could maybe cost them a player on rotation. Let's see if they engage or not. They might take a wider swing, go further to the west, stay in the blue. There's the engagement coming in from SSG. They might pull up. They might have to think of a way to deal with this, because now they're in trouble.
Another team to watch out for. Just back building again. It's going to be GC Busan. The same scenario of Team Unique on that western side, waiting for these teams to transfer and move across. Circle does actually go their way. Everyone now out in the east has to come across the water. Purple Mood, they'll take the bridge, they'll go through pod, that's easy for them. BTR, they also have a bridge, they can get a good entry point, but this now becomes extremely difficult. Should any of these teams take residency on the cliff face, they are going to be in a world of pain trying to transition to this circle.
It's not going to be easy for any team. Team Queso just suffered another casualty. I think the pickups come in, so they should be okay. But they've been slowed down now. They can't quickly get away from this. They now need to be so careful of this team that's pulled up. Bigatron are just around the corner, and they have vehicles still available, so they can move, they can get around wherever they want to.
I really want to see if Elite manage to survive this one, Lauren, because now they have to come out from Castle, but they are playing this late. Everyone else is transferring to the circle. They're still on the backside of Castle.
I'm looking for RRQ Athena as well. They're a team that you expect big results from, and they're still in the southeast, not near the new circle, so this is where it gets deadly. Sixler's going to find Zuxi. That is Bigatron suffering. That's not good. What's gone wrong there? It's all falling apart for them. They looked on the verge of doing something great this game, but maybe just not going to have the luck they need, as SSG now getting some pressure back towards them, just across by Castle. ELG making their way around. We want to see how they're going to play it. They played it right towards SSG. The aggression's going to come out. Angry, Juicy, Carnage, all standing by, waiting for this one, peeking out the right time. Bronco wants to get on the action.
Bearzai gets the initial opener onto Angry. They'll continue the flood round. Brown to the back on the Broncho. Juicy's there though, stops the halt for now, knocks him back on his backside. Leader also Carnage. This is Carnage, exactly that. They're all dropping like flies around. They're making advancement on this, and it's all going wrong.
They're trying to make a quick heal for SSG here.
Look at them crawling.
3 players knocked down. Where is that remainder? Luxie's way off in all of this. No one else nearby. It looks like it's going to be cleanup time as another team might try and steal these points. Carnage out there collecting what he can, and there's the final player from ELG way off. They're leaving. They can't save him now. Surely it's done for.
SSG need to confirm those kills. If 69 sees the walking wounded, that's an easy confirmation for them, and 2 points in the bag. It looks like they've been done.
Uh-oh, another challenger. Carnage, you ready for this? He does have Juicy beside him, so still has a teammate next to him, and I think he's got the spot. That's good information. He needs to get the fight, though. Here's the cross. Oh, no! Tags from a third party. Carnage has to go back in, depending on Juicy to help him out. And Ori swings out, and he gets it done! Big work from Carnage. Holding on, but that blue is ticking, and it's hurting like hell.
Through the smoke, down he goes. Lashing will answer back though. Juicy falls and is confirmed, so they at least can keep carrying on. SSG, valiant effort, but unfortunately they will be eliminated. The rest of the players here for 69 just surviving on the edge of the circle. Meanwhile, everything's just calming down for a second. There's a lot of teams that have gone to the cliff, and the reason that they've done this is because the river provides coverage from their back. They know there's going to be no enemies behind them, and all they have to do is look front and center and see who's ahead of them.
RRQ Athena making their rotation. They're in the southeast, they're back up in the north. These rotations from are wild, but look at that. Did he see them? Has he noticed what's up? I think he's got an idea because he's got teammates beside them, but a bit of a compound crash. We'll come back to that in a second. The push is coming in, they're clearing out, but they've actually been tagged up so badly. Zooms needs to be so careful. That could be a one-shot. He's going for it still. What a play from him. Brave and bold, taking down the enemy.
Teammate does fall for the backup, jumps in, 1 HP and a mere dream. He's actually swinging with his fists, but unfortunately can't make it work. Instantly drop TES, they do survive, and if they get the revives as well, that should be 3. I don't think it was the 4th, but at least a minimum of 3 players that will continue this one forward. Yep, all 4. I'm seeing White Cat up in the distance, disconnected from the rest of them. That's the backup plan in case they had all gone down. Justice, though, still on the floor. I think he has information onto where TQ are, and he's feeding this back to the rest of the roster. There's no reason why he'll be standing out here. Either that, or he's just basically being a bouncer to stop any advancement to the circle and cover the backside.
Oh, and Rose has real line of sight here. Look at this. Careful as well, not over-peaking. Gonna hold the angle, tapping away on that 4-1-6, looking for the damage with Lashin, but not gonna be getting it. But now they're in the blue. They have to make the move soon, and he knows it. Jimmy's gonna find a couple of players in the meantime. Tags on the cross, but Lashin's still staying alive. But, oh, and the overextension. Luxy punishing that.
That's some distance with the K9. We said we don't see too many sniper rifles, but he's making it work. Instantly to the face, down he goes, and all of a sudden, this is what happens. Justice goes down because they're forced to re-grab themselves, get up and go for the res. But now he's extended. Everything they had going for them is falling to bits.
Yeah, but that was RRQ coming in. That was not the team you were looking at. So these guys starting to build up. They had good rotations early, but now you've seen those kills coming in late games. And how is Lashin still alive on the run? Tries to make it. But can't get past Nova in the end. A good attempt, but not good enough.
AY, second time we've seen him with the AKM, making it work and doing the job. TQ, between a rock and a hard place, quite literally. BTR's there and Nova's making an advancement on all of this. They've heard these fights going down. They know who's lingering in the distance. Luxy with the follow-up smokes. Look at all the players knocking on the door. He has to be ready to receive them.
This is a big cross. Oh, what a turn there from RRQ Athena. This is a big team that you want to be looking at, and be able to take a player out the window like that is pretty impressive, but it's not over yet. White Cat is trying to cover up his teammates, trying to keep them alive, buy some time, and Nova have finally fallen. Nova are in trouble. They had so many kills as well. Finally
he's put to rest. He's done so much damage. White Cat could be a spoiler. Remember, he was playing distant away from the rest of his teammates, and he's still doing this. He can overwatch all of this and feed the information back to the rest of the roster where they are. Are they damaged? Are they done? Grenades. Ernie gets a bit of a tickle and he's warned, stay away from me, but that follow-up nade could be real, and it is! Ernie's down! I don't think they'll make a push on this because they will expose themselves too much. It's RRQ that have to do all the work to make the advancement and push them out of that compound.
Yeah, but these teams are aggressive. They love to get in there when they feel the timing is right. And that Molotov, again, this could all be so deadly to slow down the push. And it slowed them down for a second. Buying time, buying a couple more seconds. RRQ Athena wants to get the revive when they've got it. They need to get themselves back to full strength to be able to take this fight.
Pause for just a second. The advancement is real. RRQ are in the building. They're at the door. They're on the doorstep, so TES hasn't done enough damage to hold them back. They're at a man disadvantage as well because of the disconnect in the distance, the grenades. All this is going down, but the pull-ups here. Nova, got to do some damage. They jump out the vehicles, and they are welcomed with the mini.
Nova looked so good, but this is such a scary situation to come into, pretty blind, and Justice coming around, and the jump-in shot doesn't need to depend on it too heavily, but it looks like Nova have been quelled and dealt with. We see the engagement in the distance kicking off. That's RRQ Athena getting into things. They finally got down a knock. That's a big pickup. That could allow them time now to make the push.
The micro Uzi, he might be a little minigun, but it gets the job done. A little bit of a tab there from Ernie, which will give the audible warning. The flood is real.
You better be ready for what's coming your way. Look at this team. He sprays in. Oh no, he doesn't get it. What a mistake. And oh no, that's a big loss for RRQ there. If they do manage to get through this cleanly, they're great. But Fireboy could have done so much damage. There's still one player up here though. There's still one man alive for this team upstairs. In the smoke, shrouded. The revive comes in for RRQ Athena. They stay alive. 4 players will be standing soon. And we're down to the final 3 teams.
This shouldn't be a 4 versus 1. With the numbers that you have and the advantage, you should be able to go for the refrag and insta him. Last player surviving here. You can hear the stairwell push. They're upstairs. They're at the door. They're at the wall. There is damage. Oh, what? 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 Got 2! What is he doing? 3! Is this real? Could this be the 4 versus 1?
The push comes in.
Yes! Oh my God!
He's only gone and done it. What a play!
That should not
have happened? What did he just do? You can't do that on a main stage like this. At a grand finals. This isn't a public match. What?
That was incredible. But now he might have to face the music. 3 players stand against him. He's already done the unthinkable. And this might be that one step too far. But what a performance from that man. Top Esports can be proud of their player in that moment. You do not often see anyone challenging RRQ Athena like that. And he's going to try and heal out this blue. He knows it's just not on his side, but he can just rest easy with a smile on his face after that performance.
GC Busan, they'll wait this one out and they'll claim the victory here in game number 3. I mean, we said that, Lauren. I mean, he could go ahead and pull another miracle maneuver. I feel like the real winner is this gentleman on screen. What a sterling performance to just corner hang on those players that came through and murder them one by one individually. I mean, players on the opposing team are shooting one another.
Hey, look, he's got 14 meds. He's still going. He's trying to put on a show for the fans. He's not going to be going down anytime soon. The blue is going to start really hurting. They know they've got this one. They're happy. And we get a little bit of call in return.
We'll wait this one out to see it through till the very end. I don't want to be jinxing it or anything. I mean, I jinxed it in the last one where I said the 4 versus 1 shouldn't happen, and then, you know, I can hear that the crowd are actually applauding this man's work. Come on, give him a round of applause. And the rest of them, well, they're just trading meds, you know. You might as well celebrate with style.
Yeah, they're not in too much danger. They're pretty okay.
There we go.
It is.
Job done.
GG.
GC Busan with the win. That's going to be job done for now. I'm going to throw it back to James and the TES team.